you so much for joining us once again. This is TV Kudirat. We're welcoming you on Business Realm, where we share with you entrepreneurship tips from time to time. My name is Bola, Omotayo, and I'm happy to be here with you once again on Business Realm. On the past editions of Business Realm, we have treated introduction to entrepreneurship. We have treated starting a business as a topic, and we also treated how to raise the money that you need for your business under the topic raising the capital. Under that raising the capital, we gave you four main categories of sources of capital, which include your personal savings or investments, other people's money, OPM, which may be money given to you by your spouse or any relative. And when the money comes from your spouse or any relative, it is called love money. There is also another kind of OPM which comes from a kind of people called angels. They are not related to you. The giver is neither your spouse, nor your aunt, nor your nephew, nor your dad or mom. But this person has got excess cash and is willing to give it to you to start a business under agreed terms and conditions. And apart from other people's money, we said there are a number of options under other people's money. But the key to understanding it is that when the money is not your personal savings, it's not from government, and it's not from a commercial bank, then it is other people's money. In addition to that, we discussed government grants and subsidies as another source of raising capital. And lastly, we discussed bank loans. Today we are moving ahead, and the topic today is drawing a plan. Now you have learned about the possible sources from where the capital to start your business could come from. But like I told you last week, the surest of them all is your personal savings. Because your dad, aunt, spouse, nephew, niece, uncle, aunt may disappoint you. Not because they want to disappoint you, but because your request is not within their reach as at the time you place the request. Maybe because your request is not on the priority list for them, or maybe because their own income cannot accommodate your financial need at the time, and so money may not come from that relative as you have expected. And then we said, when it is government grants and subsidies, there are conditions to be met, there are standards, there are prerequisites, and if you fall short of these eligibility criteria, then you may also be disappointed at the time that you need the money. Now, coming to bank loans, I told you that generally banks too are in business, and they also want to manage the risk that will be involved in giving money to any borrower. So if you are a starter, you do not have a track record, your chances of getting a loan from a commercial bank are very slim. So we come back to you. And like I said on that edition, you are always with yourself. You are the first person with yourself, and you will be the last person with yourself. And you will always be with yourself. So, given that, or let's assume that all of the other possible sources have failed, what can you do with yourself? And that leads us to the topic today, drawing a plan. When you are back to yourself, what you need to do now is to draw a plan. And before I proceed, let me tell you that nobody is born a CEO. So you don't have to start your career life, your career journey as a CEO. You could start as an employee. You could also start as a laborer. Every successful entrepreneur that you see has a story. They have a journey. They have a testimony to share. And when you listen to that testimony, you will discover that it didn't all start as or on a bed of roses. So, your number one plan when you are left with yourself and you realize that you do not have money on your own to start your business, but you still love to be a business person. Either you do not have money at all, or you do not have enough money, then the next thing you should do is to serve. Go and seek a slot in an established concern, an established business concern. Seek a slot to serve. And if that fails, because I see a lot of people, graduates, master's degree holders, OND holders, NCE holders, school certificate holders, complaining that they've walked the whole city. They've walked the length and breadth of the whole city, and no employment is showing forth. Nobody has given them a job. Even when that fails, I tell you, there is hope still. Now, what is the hope? The hope is that where there is a will, there will be a way. If your dream business is interior decoration and you need a lot of equipment and a huge capital outlay to start that dream business, which you cannot afford for now, then do whatever, please, whatever your hands can find to do. There are simple things that you could learn. Your dream is to go into interior decoration, but you don't have money to start like the big names that we have today. Go and learn how to tie gele. Go and learn how to make up for people. You find people who are willing to teach you this free of charge. Do you know there are gele artists who just want somebody who will go about with them, help them to carry the bag and support them? There are interior decorators who want willing to serve young people who just go about with them and climb the ladder, because this madam can't climb the ladder, so she wants younger people who can climb the ladder, who can blow the balloons, who can, so just there will be a way. If you think, you will find. Now, if you still can't get anybody to mentor you, to take you in as an assistant, then look to nature. Mother Nature will never fail you. There is enough in Mother Nature to tap. All you need is to open your eyes wide, and you will find something in nature that is useful and sellable. And these are innumerable, they are uncountable. Check online, you will gain insights. In fact, there are bloggers online who are not just there to foment trouble, to see whose nyash, whose buttocks are too big, or whose head is hammerhead or furrow. There are bloggers who are dishing out very educative, very academic, very informative content from time to time. They are on Facebook, they are on Instagram, they are on YouTube. So when you go online, be sure that you are there to look for useful tips on how to advance your life. If you want tips on how to make money legitimately, decently, responsibly, there are people who are working on that. And of all the numerous ideas that they would present to you, one of them would be workable. So when everybody has failed you and you can't find an employment with any established business firm or concern, and you can't get a mentor around to just follow and carry their bag and say yes ma, yes sir, until you have a clue, then look to Mother Nature. Now, if you still feel you can't go to the bush, and you know, when I say look to Mother Nature, you don't have to go to the wilderness, you don't have to go to the jungle. Even right at the back of your heart, there are things that you could sell. When you were growing up, your mother gave you herbs. Your mother probably was not educated. The herb was just passed down to her by our great-great-grandmothers. Now you are educated, at least you have a school certificate or even less, but you can read. Go and read more about that herbs and brand it. I'll give you an example of a Nollywood actress, Toyin Abraham. When she gave birth to her baby and she saw the miracles of herbs, she turned it to a business, and she packaged the herbs, and she started, I can give you, even before Toyin, there have been, if you go to Ekiti, there is a man whose business is called Oasis. He's been in this for a long time. We've seen the examples of Yemkem, Akintunde Ayeni, and Akintunde Ayeni studied something different from what he was doing in school. But he came out and went back to the knowledge passed down to him by his forefathers. And by that, he became a millionaire. And there are a lot of them. So you don't have to remain a nuisance at the gates of your uncle or at your auntie's office when you are surrounded with blessings just there by nature. Now, you still don't want to do that. Do you know that you could start a business of 500 naira? You don't know. Even as bad as the economy is, even as high as inflation rate is, with 500 naira, you can start a business even without going into the bush. You will get a coconut that is 300 naira, and if you buy 200 naira sugar to roast 300 naira coconuts, use old newspapers in your house, wrap the coconut candy and sell it to young kids in your neighborhood. Maybe at the end of the day, use your mommy's stove. At the end of the day, you come to something like 700 naira. So your 500 naira is no longer 500 naira, it's now 700 naira. You could buy a can of needle or any powdered milk. And today you don't even need a can. There are people selling them in moodles. You could start a akara business. See, there are times that politicians just come around, they give you 1 kilogram of beans, 1 kilogram of rice. Tell yourself that is the last time you want to collect it. Peel the beans and go and use the 500 naira that you have saved in your polo. Buy a bottle of vegetable oil and start frying akara. I can't just imagine that somebody would continue to say I'm jobless for 2 years. It's unimaginable. It doesn't take so long to learn barbing. There are so many things you could learn within a few days. It doesn't take so long to learn to paint nails for people. Pedicuring and manicuring, it doesn't take so long to learn that. Yes, you have your bigger dream of becoming an interior decorator. You have your bigger dream of becoming a boutique owner. You have your bigger dream of becoming a manufacturer of spices. You have your bigger dream of becoming a cement dealer. You have your bigger dream of becoming a distributor to all of the big companies around. But here you are, you can't raise the money. And I tell you, that should not be the end. You are limitless. You are limitless because you are made in God's image. And there is a lot inside of you to reach. And when you reach it, you tap it and you bring it out. You will never be the same person again. Nothing can stop you except you. So draw a plan and do what is possible while you are gradually moving towards what you desire. You have your desire, but you can start with what is possible to achieve your desire, to achieve your big dream, to realize your ambition. There are so many things. By the time if you start with 500 naira and free beans that came from either your auntie, even when you are going to beg for anything from your auntie or uncle, go there once. Auntie, I want to start a akara business. You are not asking for 100,000. I just need a mudu of beans. No auntie will find it difficult to give you a mudu of beans and one bottle of oil. But if you tell your auntie you want to open an office at Victoria Island, when your auntie's shop is at Ojota, auntie, please, I would like to have a nice office at Victoria Island. You know, that area is cozy, it's nice, and there are high-profile people around that place. They will patronize me, and in a short while, your sister will become a millionaire, and I will buy you a Bentley. Really? If you want to go and beg from your auntie, tell auntie, all I need is 5,000. I have a business idea. No, and then come back and say, auntie, that's that 5,000 naira. I started something little, and now I take a taxi every day, and I eat from it too. But that business, I have so and challenge on that line. So I'm thinking of switching to another thing which will cost me 15,000 naira. It's not as if I have eaten up the 500 naira I was able to do this. I was making 100 naira contribution every day, and it's supposed to have been more than what I have in savings now, but because I was also dipping my hands into it to take taxi, to take lunch, so I have 12,000 naira, and the new business idea is 15,000 naira. Your auntie who gave you 5,000 naira, which you have turned to 12,000 naira, will be glad to give you 3,000 naira to make up 15,000 naira for a new venture. But you see the 5,000 naira, you ate it, and you go back saying, really, the problem was whatever. You came back with excuses, and the 500 naira is gone. Who does that? So you can stop being a nuisance at anybody's gates or anybody's office if you realize it and you accept it, that you are the one who is always with yourself. You are the first person with yourself. You will be the last person with yourself. And you don't want to disappoint yourself. You don't want to disgrace yourself. And you believe that you can do it. Of course you can do it, because you are limitless. So draw a smart plan towards your big dream. And when I say a smart plan, I mean an actionable plan that is specific. You just admire those nice offices at Ikoyi, Victoria Island, Lekki, around VGC. You like the Bodija side, you like the Bashorun side, but you don't want Akobo, you don't want Oremedia Google, you just want to start at Khalil and Dibo level. If nobody, even banks, won't give you, because they don't deal with starters. That's the truth. But if you go to a bank, if there is an opening, if a bank ever advertises that they are willing to give 20,000 naira to young people who want to start small scale business enterprises, and in the form they say, what have you been doing with your life? And you have something to write. You said, I've been selling coconut candy. I've been selling Adu, if you know what Adu is, if you are Yoruba. I've been selling toffee, homemade toffee, which you made in your mother's kitchen. I've been selling powdered mix, cooked and wrapped in paper bowls. Have been into pedicuring. Have been, you have something to say in the form, because you think EcoBank or GT Bank is so rich, it's such a magnificent business, and 20,000 naira is something that they will just free tie away to no future ambition youths. They won't. If there are 1 million forms, they want to see the girl who has sold candy before. They want to see the girl who has sold coconut candy before, who has made toffee in her mother's kitchen. They want to see the girl who has tried her hands on brownie. They want to see the boy who has harvested cucumber-shaped sponges from the farm and sold it in front of her father's house. They want to see the boy who has sold firewood. They want to see the boy who out of nothing has brought mangoes and supplied mangoes, free mangoes from mango trees in her father's farm, who has been supplying mangoes to the aboki who is selling fruits at the junction over time. And they want to see what you have done. And everybody can do something without anybody. Anybody in this life can do something without anybody. It may be small, but you can do something without anybody. Show us the something so that somebody can lift that anybody to somewhere. If you can't show anybody something, nobody is willing to assist anybody who cannot show something, because anybody who cannot show something would still end up with nothing after taking something. So draw a plan that, okay, now that I'm left with myself, I'll go look for a job. Even if you have an OND, you see a job that is just fit for a school certificate holder, please take it instead of just sleeping precious time away. Okay, you can't find a job. I would go and harvest mangoes from my father's farm, or I would look for empty sacks and plant yams in these sacks in the neighborhood. People now, there's a lot of farming activities going on in cement bags. I will look for broken buckets and fill those with soil and plant a few things. And just, in fact, even if you don't sell these things, just say, good afternoon, I planted basil in buckets on our balcony, and I just got that it's so beautiful, so green, and I think you may need some. She was sleeping, you just go there to knock and door, and you have come to give her some fresh basil or some fresh bitter leaf or some fresh spinach. You know that spinach grows anywhere. Behind the bathroom, on the balcony, anywhere. Spinach just needs a little amount of soil to spring up. Or aloe vera. Mommy, do you need aloe vera? I've planted some. She won't give you money that day, but when you now have your 5,000 naira business idea, you go to her. If it's something very little, because you know that you are the one to achieve the big thing for yourself, but you want somebody to help you with the little, because somebody who has not achieved so big and you want them to give you so big, where would they get it? Or somebody who has not achieved so big but they are surviving, if you go them asking for little, you will get little. And if you can turn little to a little more than little, you will get more. That is it. And by so doing, do you know that your gifts, your character, your cheerfulness, your patience, and your diligence, all these virtues that you can add to your life to beautify your life, keep adding them, keep getting yourself increased in value instead of just slipping away. Before you know it, it may be faster than natural. It may just be faster than natural. Something that was supposed to take you 10 years may now take you 2 months, 3 months, because somebody may just say, this boy is wonderful, this girl is gracious, and they will just, because you are giving them joy. And people can pay any amount for joy. If a young lad is a source of joy, it just, the boy or the girl just surprises you all the time. They just do things that make you happy. There's something in you that will just tear you up to favor them. So just keep doing something. Just keep doing something. Draw a plan and just keep doing something in your plan. Now, as you are working or serving to savor, you also need to improve your capacity. Don't forget, we are discussing drawing a plan. There's nobody to help you. You now have a plan. Plan 1 is that you want to go and work. You want to go and serve. You want to go and labor. You want to just do anything that your hands can find to do. That's your plan 1. While that is going on, please don't lose your dream, because you have a dream of becoming a businessman in so sector. Don't lose that dream. But in order for you not to allow the dream to die, you are doing what your hands have found to do. That's plan 1. And plan 2 is to continue to improve your capacity. How do you improve your capacity? When you are doing what your hands are found to do. You can continue to learn. You could go for apprenticeship, like I said. Just say, mommy, oh, you do interior decor, can I follow you to the next event? Even if you don't have anybody to pay the registration fee for you, but if you are a nice boy in the neighborhood, the mommy may not mind. But if you have been the troublesome girl in the neighborhood, the irresponsible girl around, the mommy would mind. She won't allow you because she doesn't want wahala. She doesn't want trouble. So if you've been a nice guy in the neighborhood, the mommy, is easy for the mommy to accommodate you, even when nobody has come to pay the registration fee for you, because the mommy knows, or the auntie or the uncle knows, that you will add value. So you can go for apprenticeship. You could continue to read in that field where you are, and you could go to a school if you can afford it. There are short-term courses that you could sign up for. Check the internet from time to time, but don't go there to see people who are twerking or people who are fighting. Leave the fighting crew and read up more on what will benefit, on what will beautify your life. Go on excursions when you have the opportunity. Go on field trips. You love to have a pure water factory or a bottled water factory, but you just the ultimate goal, but you can't afford it. Anywhere you see a pure water factory, be nice and find a way of learning more. See what they do there if you have the opportunity. Every time you go on these field trips, you go on these excursions, go back, take note of what you have seen, take note of what you have written, find out how much they sell it, and begin to think of how to gradually work and save up to be able to achieve that. And finally, enjoying a plan. Don't forget that part of your plan, some of them will be short-term plans, the things that you can do immediately. Part of the things that you can do immediately is start a 500 naira business, start a 1000 naira business, plant things on your balcony, use it to bless madams in your neighborhood, use it to bless kids in your neighborhood, bless people. In fact, the fact that you are blessing people and they smile when you bless them, their spirit prays for you, there will be a way. That's short plan. The medium plan is, okay, when you continue to work and you are saving up, is there anything in the logistics that you eventually need that you can afford? For instance, if your dream is to have a fashion house, but you do not have the money, but over 6 months you have saved enough, even if it's a scissors, buy a very good scissors and keep it. You're already acquiring your asset. If it's a cover button machine, buy that and keep it. If it's a whipping machine, buy that and keep it. Mind you, I've not mentioned the sewing machine or sewing machines, but there are little things that you could do. By so doing, you are keeping your dream alive. At the end of the day, maybe when you are starting your business, you will even have enough by hard work, by grace, by support, by sponsorship, by loan, because eventually you may now be qualified for the loan that you were not qualified for. Eventually your mother, who couldn't give you money, may now be better off too and be able to give you money. Eventually your spouse, who was unable to give you money, might have gotten some promotions and is now able to give you money. But the little things that you have done in your plan would help keep your dream alive. And maybe by the time you will now start, the scissors that you bought, the whipping machine that you bought, the cover button machine that you bought may be below the standard of of what you will go abroad or to shop at once. Maybe you now give those out to people who are still where you were in those days or in those years. But if you didn't have a plan and didn't do the small actionable things that were possible in your plan, you will forget that dream. And by the time your husband says, my dear, you said you would like to have a fashion house, you can't even reconnect because you allowed the dream to die. So a plan keeps your dream alive. And that's it on this edition of Business Realm. Thank you so much once again for joining us. We hope you let everything that we have said guide you and inspire you and encourage you till we meet again. My name is Bola Omotayo. Bye for now.